Hello everyone, it's time for another artist vlog where I share with you all the things that have been going on over the last couple of months and update you on current projects. I love this time of year. We've just transitioned over to British summertime, and whilst our bodies take a moment to get used to the hour loss, the lighter evenings are a welcome change, and it's wonderful to know that warmer times are on the way. Although at the time of recording this, we are experiencing a typically wild and wet storm here on the Lizard Peninsula. I'm sure as we move into April there will be more wet days than dry, but I like to think of the phrase, April showers means May flowers. Living so close to nature, I enjoy noticing all the buds starting to grow and the sweet coconut smell of the gorse flowers filling the air on my walks. This reminds me I've recently started a new podcast where I record what I see and describe the landscape and weather before finding a spot to sketch. I'm calling it Explore and Draw, and so far I've recorded 2 episodes using my spring prompts to guide me in what I draw. If you're interested in listening, you should be able to find it on any podcast app. And that leads me to mention another project I've been working on setting up. My Substack newsletter, which I'm calling Sea Salt and Serpentine. You've probably heard of Substack, but if not, it's a space where I can share more written content alongside photos and videos and audio posts. It's also where I'm publishing my Explore and Draw podcast. I've used MailChimp to send out my newsletters for years, but was beginning to find it a bit cumbersome, and if someone missed my email, there wasn't a place where they could go to catch up or read my news. With Substack, once my newsletter has been written, it goes directly to my subscribers' inboxes, and then it's archived, meaning people can scroll through and read past editions if they wish in Substack. There's also a comment section under each post, which encourages readers to engage. It works pretty much like a blog, but feels more accessible and part of a bigger community. There is also an option to pledge support if you feel led, but you can totally read it for free. So I plan to share more regularly over there. And this is what you can expect from me: a monthly roundup of client work and projects, a closer look at my sketchbook pages, my Draw and Explore podcast, news of workshops and online courses, and something I'm calling Sketchbook Surgery. This will be a place where I address struggles or challenges that have come up in keeping a sketchbook practice, either from mine or others. So if you have any issues you'd like me to write about or address, then comment below or on my Substack post. All the links will be included in the description box below. In February, I started back my drink and draw sessions. After almost 9 months of not meeting, we met in a new venue in the beautiful village of Helford. The Shipwrights Arms is a pub and restaurant situated right on the shores of the Helford. Although it still has its original thatch roof, inside it's been modernised and extended on one side, with large windows overlooking the river. It is an inspiring place to sketch, and the perfect place to get a drink and draw what you see. I've run 2 sessions there so far and hope to run another in a few weeks' time. I've also been meeting up with fellow illustrator Crixus to sketch. In February, we met at Mawgan Church to draw during their infamous Daffodil Festival, which usually only happens every 2 years. But because of the pandemic, it hadn't happened since 2019, so this was a special occasion to meet up and draw the thousands of daffodils on display. Apparently there are over 10,000 of them.
Crixus is doing the daffodil focusing.
We also drew outside, even though it was particularly miserly that day.
I think you captured the moodiness of the day.
In March, we met in Greek, intending to draw outside again, but it was raining, so we took ourselves to the Boatyard Cafe and spent an enjoyable hour or so sketching our surroundings. At the beginning of March, my spring prompt list began, and so far, so good. I met up with the robin again, and that was a real boost, and he made his way into one of my pictures. Hi guys, so here I am out on one of my walks and sketches. My plan was to do actually the clouds today, but and you'll see what happened. I came and sat down on this bench here, and as I was sitting and unpacking my stuff, I noticed something flicker past me, and you're not going to believe it, but look who is back. Can you see him? He's just sitting there. It's my friend, the robin. So he's just been sitting there for the last 10 minutes, and so I decided I would sketch him. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been doing a little sketch. We've been having a chat. Yeah, it's quite nice actually. So I'll show you what I've done so far. So yeah, you can see I've just done a really quick sketch of him using watercolour. I'm just using my Derwent paint in there just to block in the shapes. I wasn't quite sure how long he would wait, but he's still there waiting. So yeah, once this is dry, I will work on top of it, probably with some pencils and some probably Neocolour. There is a bit of cloud here. So that is the prompt though that I was going for, was clouds. So I might just work a little bit up here as well. But really, the robin has become the subject today, unintentionally, but yeah, I thought you guys might like to see that anyway. I found having the prompts really does push me to go outside, even in murky weather. I've also been preparing my pages with paint beforehand, and this certainly cuts down the time I spend outside. I would certainly recommend it if you haven't yet tried it. I find it really effective. So after my time playing in my sketchbook, I really wanted to actually prepare some pages with some of the colours that I had mixed. Just some backgrounds that I think would be fun to draw on top of. So I'm not sure where or when I might use these backgrounds, but I thought it would be good to prepare some. It might mean that I don't work in chronological order or I miss some pages, but I think it'd be worth it to just explore. I'm just using acrylic ink, which really does dry pretty fast. And I'm working on my Mawgan and my Ranger Delusion sketchbook. A really fun evening was had at a friend's wedding anniversary where we were invited to celebrate, and we had the Rum and Shrub singers entertain us. I brought my sketchbook along and decided to draw the entire group on paper.
Alabama John Jerry just found dead at the captain's feet. Alabama John Jerry
It's always fun to sketch in these types of situations, as the pressure is on to sketch without drawing too much attention to yourself and capture the subjects before they sit down. I managed it in 2 sessions. Thankfully, I was seated near the back, so was able to sketch away without many people noticing.
Don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen. You nearly broke his hip up again. Right, Alex, Alex.
And there has been one other project I've been working on in the background, and that is relaunching our Creative Catch-Up podcast. This is a podcast that Natasha Newton and I launched back in 2020 and has a series of 20 episodes where we chat about running a creative business. Our last episode aired 2 years ago in March 2021, and since then we've been talking about doing another season, but for one reason or another haven't. But in the last few months we've been organising ourselves and finally are going to be launching season 3 this weekend. I'm guessing this vlog will go around the same time. So if you're interested in hearing what we've been up to and the new person joining us, then go and listen to it after this. I've given the podcast a little brand refresh too, and that's been fun. I got everyone to paint their favourite watercolour washes, which I've combined to create our new branding. I feel it brings a bit more personality and represents us better. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this vlog with some views I filmed the other day on my Draw and Explore podcast. A reminder that spring is here and new adventures beckon me to go outside and draw from my surroundings. I hope you are well, and I'll speak to you again really soon. I am on top of the world. No, I'm on top of the cliffs just above Mullion Cove, and it is a beautiful sunny day today. So I'm going to be doing the prompt sunlight today, and I'm going to use, or try to use, my pre-painted pages and see what happens. In front of me I've got a cliff. Wow, I think the mist is actually engulfing me here at the moment. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try and capture the sunlight here as long as it stays out. It might actually change. There are some cows in front of me. Possibly I might get them. But wow, this is quite unusual, being in actually a misty area. We'll see how long I manage to do this for without being completely freaked out by this mist engulfing me. Anyway, hopefully the sun will burn it all up and it'll be fine, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. So in this piece I actually kept just using the Neo colours. I didn't use any of my pencils. I just used Neo colours on top of the painted piece. You can see that I layered up just to push back that orange that was here, but it does mean that I can get glimpses of it coming through. What I really liked actually was adding these little flicks here just to indicate birds, and then these little marks to indicate the cows. Actually, if you look, I don't know if you can see, there's a cow just along the horizon there. But can you also see how the mist has now completely come in and engulfed me? There's the sun. It looks very mysterious now, doesn't it? So yeah, that is the drawing, which I hope captures a bit of the environment. I'm going to pack up now and head back.